logistics. She is responsible for her beauty. So don't be a hater.
She
Don't be a hater.
what she was supposed to do. She came with the fashions.
Right.
To do.
She gave them what they needed. She did what needed to be done.
And that's what Oscar is all about. That's what it's all about. It's making a statement. So I'm glad she did make that statement. Hi, Simone.
Hey, honey, how you doing?
Very good.
Glowing.
Since
You're
we're
glowing.
on the topic of Oscars, was Angela Bassett robbed? Okay, let me just say this before I let you guys take it over. I remember because it was not so long ago. We already decided hashtag Oscars so white. Already decided we was boycotting the Oscars. We already decided we gonna lean into BT. We gonna lean into NAACP awards. We gonna lean into our own stuff. Get all these people's stuff. We don't need their validation. I remember that vividly because it reminded me of the Montgomery bus boycott. I was like, oh, we're unified. Okay, Jada's leading. Let's go. And then, it was like the NFL. Like we just forgot, we just fell off of it, and then went back into it. And then Angela's who is my soror, who is more than deserving of any award. Okay, for her acting skills,
amazing,
hands down. The greatest of our time, one of the greatest of our time, and highest paid, and just the bomb. Okay, insane career. But are we really mad? Like, we know these people is not for us, and this is not our event. So, okay,
it's just it's irritating and it's disrespectful. They keep playing in our face,
right?
Like, she could have been at home watching TV, watching First 48. That's what I would have been doing. Like, don't sit up there and encourage this woman to come do her whole glam thing, and y'all gonna play with her for 18 years. She could have done that from home.
And then she's not even allowed to be in her moment. She's not supposed to be feeling some type of way. All cameras are zooming on her as like she's the first person to ever not clap.
Yeah, I completely agree with you all. I mean, listen, Jamie Lee Curtis is great, but she's not Angela Bassett.
She ain't Angela.
She's not Angela Bassett, and I mean, to you all's point, I mean, she is. If she's not the greatest actress of her generation, like she's top two. You know what I mean? She's
Angela and Denzel. Like, that's it. Like,
she is.
She's truly an icon and gives exemplary performances anytime she come outside her house. And for them to deny her in the way that they have, it's truly unfortunate, especially considering like they should have given her the award with What's Love Got to Do with It. And I feel like that was almost 30 years ago at this point.
Are you kidding me? The way she ran across that highway, I felt it in my spirit.
In your spirit,
I had no business watching that movie at that age. But it was so good that my mother threw her parenting to the side and said, "Come here, little girl, sit here, close your eyes some of these parts, because Mama's finna show you something. This is what you need to know about raggedy men."
It was used as a teachable moment.
Yeah, she said this is what it looked like when you date a man who wasn't on the honor roll, and I never forgot that. I never forgot that. No, I don't know how true it is, but it was a very good visual for me. I always assumed that men who weren't on the honor roll behaved like Ike.
Okay.
Waiting to exhale. Can we talk about when she lit the car on fire? And
as she should. I've been waiting for that moment. Arson runs in my family.
Okay.
But I still have.
Let's not disclose that on recording.
No one died. Statute of limitations has failed.
Get on her.
Yeah, statute of limitations is passed. We're fine.
Okay. You're all right.
We're good.
Listen, Angela Bassett is a trendsetter, an icon, a Delta. She deserves all her flowers.
She does.
I just don't think we should be over here begging these people for their Oscars. Like,
I agree.
Y'all keep it. And then to pan the camera on her when Jamie Lee Curtis gets the award. I'm like, come on, y'all. come on now. It's obviously a competitive field. She's not going to be smiling. That's not her homegirl. Maybe if it was Taraji or something like that, she'd be like,
Yep.
okay, sis. But
Exactly.
it's not her sis. So she's like, okay.
Yeah.
So hey, give it to me. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why would she?
Her face.
And
Everybody.
why would she clap? Why would she clap? I'm sure when she was going there, she was expecting like she's gonna get it. Just like we're all expecting that she's gonna. And then she's shocked. She's in her moment. Let her experience that moment. It should not be making news over here.
Right.
You know
I
what
saw
I mean?
that Tommy Lauren made the statement. She said, "Oh, I thought women on the left support each other." Let me tell you something, little girl. I have never.
Who said that?
Tommy
The
Lauren,
Tommy girl.
the Tommy girl, the Republican girl.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about that little girl. No. She says these things, and it's like, oh, come on, give me a break. I have never ever desired to go to like a Republican Trump, one of those rallies and stuff like that. But I've always wanted to see her and trip her. Sometimes I think about, similar to some of your castmates, I think about how close can I come to the law to like committing a crime, but not.
Okay.
And I think of tripping her. I think of having a glass of red wine and just, I'm so sorry, Tommy. And just like it flowing into her beautiful blonde locks.
And now I gotta pull up with you to make sure these people don't take you somewhere after.
Oh my God, that's what my girlfriends say. That is what my fiance says. He's like, quit doing these things because I'm the one that's gonna get in a fight.
That part. Gotta call receipt. No.
Okay,
We're not
let's
gonna do
keep
that.
Yes.
We are gonna pull Candace Owen aside at some point. I don't know when. We're gonna have to pull her aside.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. But if you know, you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot. People talk
Oh
about
my
my hair.
God.
First of all, the hair, no. But we're not going to do that today.
Well, first of all, Sue-Ann, I can't let you do that. You cannot mention your hair and Candace Owens' hair in the same sentence. I can't let you do that. You can't let that slide.
Even Timothy knows.
There's nothing wrong with your hair, but Candace Owens' hair shows that she's not around black people. That's a whole nother conversation. So we can't put those together like that.
I can't stand that girl. But
and she doesn't deserve them either.
yeah. 100%.
She was already fired in my mind a long time ago. Like, not,
I cannot.
But definitely having the date at the border wall was a lot for me. That made it so real. I was like, oh, you really committed to this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Exit stage left. So let's talk about another outfit.
Okay.
So everybody is talking about Ciara. That's how you say it. Ciara, yeah.
Oh, Jesus, take the wheel.
Because she went to Vanity Fair party and she had on a sheer outfit. And then somehow they not only talked about her, they start saying her husband, she disrespecting her husband, she's not a Christian woman.
They said all of that.
How could she pray but also wear this? She's not a good mother. She's terrible. This is the worst thing they've ever seen in their lives. Oh my God. We hate Ciara. Here was my comment, and then I'm gonna let you guys have it. Wasn't y'all just asking for her prayer? Like, just asking. Just saying, oh my God, look at her track record for success. She overcame a huge obstacle in a crazy ex. She got a good man to help her raise her son. She's successful, she's rich, she's putting out new music, she's giving us looks in all her IG posts. Y'all was just asking for the prayer. And then with one outfit just switched up on her. Oh my God, she's terrible wife. Why would she embarrass Russell? Me personally, I don't follow Russell online. I follow Ciara. But I did not see him make not one comment. Personally, in the pictures I saw him with her, he was looking like, oh, when we get home, if we even make it home. That was the face. He was looking like a Cheshire cat, like, I won the lottery.
Literally.
Okay, he knows. He's happy there. He likes it there. And I don't blame him. She made a song called my goodies. This
She
is
did.
not, you know what I'm saying? This is not something outrageous. This is like somebody getting upset about Lizzo twerking, playing the flute. Does it all the time. What's new?
Yeah.
But most importantly, I'm gonna need people to stop policing Black women's bodies, their outfits. Like, just stop policing us. Leave us alone. Like, we're right at the intersection of race and gender. We have enough oppression. We do not need all this extra policing internally. Like, if Tommy Lauren wanted to be like, oh, how dare she, whatever, which she couldn't, because it was white people at the party too, and they had on their that was the theme of the party. But if Tommy Lauren or Kim Kardashian, who definitely shouldn't say anything, but if she wanted to say something, I'll be like, okay, she's on the other side. Okay. And then we could be like, don't talk about us. Don't talk about us. But when it's internal, I'd be like, come on, y'all. Really? Yeah. Now you're doubting her Christianity and her ability to be a whole wife based on an outfit. Okay, I'm done. Maud.
Yeah. Well, Swan, I love you, but I'm a little bit conservative when it comes to this, all right?
Okay.
Because I just watched her and the husband go to jail. They have like a podcast or whatever they were going through. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me? Okay.
Yes.
And they're praying and they're preaching and they're doing all those things. Then you come over here and you have left nothing to imagination. And so I'm conflicted. I am not here to judge her career. I'm not here to judge anything. But yo, baby girl, like nothing. Your ass is wide open. Your teeth are twitching. Huh?
I said Adam and Eve were naked. No, I see. I'm here for both sides. So don't feel like you're gonna upset me if you.
No, I know. I'm just saying. No, it was. I am extremely yes. I'm conflicted. It's not a cup. It's not my cup of tea. Like, she has a beautiful body. She would have worn something else that still have represented a mother, a Christian woman that she is. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I don't know what Christian women wear. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know. Because she's not like a first lady. You know what I'm saying? Of a church. Like,
no.
Definitely first lady of a church. No. Yeah. But hip hop artists going to a party, because this was the actual Oscars. This was the Vanity Fair party where the theme of the party was, it's an after party, not the actual Oscars, where the theme of the party was like sheer or whatever.
Booty butt naked.
Okay.
But I like that comment. I like that comment of Sahara. Can you put that comment of Sahara? Because I agree with that one. It's a difference. There's a different kind of an environment for it. There's no.
She didn't wear it to the Oscars. She absolutely wore it to a Vanity Fair after party for the Oscars.
That's an important distinction.
In some color land, that's like their hip hop party. Okay.
I mean, I thought it was ugly. I thought it was very ugly. She's a pretty person. The dress was ugly. So that's what I was concerned about. And when I realized it was an after party, I'm like, let's be honest. Them people up in that after party snorting cocaine off each other's butt cracks, okay? This is not the place where the best singer in the choir, goes to showcase their talent, okay? This is where it goes down. So with that context, I said, if there's one place to be butt naked, it'll be amongst these people. Okay. So.
Mocha said mine is a pretty outfit. You can be Christian and still be sexy.
I'm a sexy Christian when I get all dressed up. Yeah, the Lord wants me to have sex with my not right now though.
Gina said she would be half naked all the time. Listen, that would be my dilemma. I'll be like, Lord, I know I need to keep it in, but these gym games, I mean, like, I need to let the people know I'm in the gym. Timothy, as a husband.
Okay. Oh boy, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm listening.
That's
I'm listening.
okay. How do you feel about it?
So I will begin by saying, just as a man, I think it's important just to be careful in conversations like this because too often um, we can be paternalistic and patriarchal in an overhanded way in terms of telling women what they should and should not wear, things like that. As it relates to that, though, I did find the dress to be unbecoming, just in a general sense, that I feel as though there are better ways that Sierra can show her fashion sense and the dynamics of her personality and even correspond with the theme of the party. And so, and with that said, like I personally didn't care for it. I mean, obviously, like you said, Russell was fine with it. He was gushing the entire time. Every picture that I've seen of her, he's like just a few feet away, like you said, wondering if they're going to actually make it home. But
He's gonna trap me somewhere.
but yeah, I but on its face though, particularly the Bible does offer many admonishments about the way that we present ourselves. And just talking about, so Sahara said in the comments, the body is the temple, but it also even talks about presenting ourselves in a way that is honoring of our faith. I mean, I don't want to get into like chapter and text and things like that. And so, again, I'm not here to necessarily tell her what to wear. She's grown. She has to make that decision herself. But I personally didn't care for it. You know, I don't tell my wife what she can and can't wear. I'm not one of those types of people, or whatever. So I'm not saying that Russell, because there's a lot of people who are saying that Russell failed somewhere, that he let his wife leave the house in that way. And I don't think that's the proper way to frame the argument. I think the better way to put it is things like, what does this say about you? Particularly because the thing is, people make judgments about you based on how you present to the world. And so, right or wrong, true or false, we do. And so, like when we go into court, we have to wear court attire. If we go on a date, sometimes we might change our clothes. If we're not leaving the house, we might wear something completely different because we understand in a fundamental way that people are making perceptions about us. And particularly as it relates to this particular outfit.
Throw some of the white people that were at the party with the crazy outfits. That's all I'm saying. Everybody's saying it was not appropriate, but it was appropriate for the event she was at. She was wearing you know, she was going with the theme. But I feel you. I feel you.
But I have seen pictures of some other women who made Sierra look modest. I will say that in terms of what they had on. I've seen pictures because I didn't realize what the theme of the party was, but I saw a few white women wearing like things. I was like, oh, so like it was one of them type of parties. So
I agree.
Okay. Well, y'all still can ask for Ciara prayer. So leave Ciara alone. That's just something I just feel like that's above most of us. Like what all she has to put together to go to an event like that is like, okay, if she made a bad decision about her outfit, I feel like it should be limited to talking about the outfit. Not like saying, oh my God, she's not a Christian and she's a bad wife and Russell is all that extra stuff. I'm not with all that. Like, if you want to say the outfit's ugly, someone was like, the outfit's ugly. Okay, cool. You don't, that's fine. But I feel like turning it into a thing about her actual character is way too much when y'all was just admiring her decision-making skills just a week ago. That was all I was saying.
I was impressed.
I was impressed by the ability for it to stay on and stuff like that. Because my problem would be, it would be all over the place. I wouldn't. So no.
I would be charged with public nudity. Absolutely.
No, for me. So I read a story that they're considering switching to a 4-day work week. You know, as an entrepreneur, I don't really have work days and weekends and breaks and stuff like this. So that don't really mean nothing to me. Yeah. But, you know, for people that had to go to a 9 to 5, 5 days a week, it sound good to me.
Sure do.
What you think, Maude? Should we over here switch to 4 days?
Listen, as a full-time worker and a full-time mom, I welcome it. I would even take 3 days. Okay, so I'm here for it.
32 hours. We don't. Do you feel like you're gonna?
That is important.
Are you still gonna do people work? That's the question, Maude. Are you still gonna do the people work if it's only 4 days?
Yeah. But I think also it's but it's important because you become very see, I grew up in Kenya. Fridays we work like Monday to Friday, but a Friday is like a half day. You take it easy and you don't clock anywhere. You're not clocking the time, and so you're not gonna you're not being paid per hour. No. When I come here, it's exhausting. Like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? And so if I am here for the 4 days because you're mentally exhausted already. Oh my God, it took me like a year to get used to this system.
So the 4 day work, you feel like is closer to what's more tolerable?
Yes, it's good for our mental health. It's good for everything. It's too much. Jesus.
America is just ghetto.
Do it. Mm-hmm. We welcome it.
Ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
Timothy.
Yes.
I'm for it. It's because at least the companies that have tried it have demonstrated that it's successful, and there was even a pool of 3,000 workers that were studied in a study that was done, I believe, at Boston College. And the workers were more efficient. They reported better mental health.
There you go.
15% of them said there's no amount of money that would convince them to go back to a 5-day work week too. And so I'm of the mind that again, Sue-Ann, you're exactly right. You're different. You're an entrepreneur and you have an intense schedule. So that requires you to work long hours, sometimes on the weekends. So you don't have a 9 to 5. Does work a 9 to 5, I think it's worth considering allowing them to do 4 days, giving them more control of their week, and then I think their mentality shifts too. That you only have 4 days to accomplish the same expected amount of work, and so you have less margin for error. You move around a little better. So I'm for it. I hope more people do it.
Simone, are you going to let your staff at the Red Wine Law Firm only work 4 days a week? And I'm just saying only.
Somebody got to come in on Friday it's not going to be me. Okay? It's not going to be me. So we don't have to stagger some things. You
mean like it'll be 4 days, but you're willing to just move it around. But Friday,
stagger my staff because I really think that in Texas, there's a school district that has switched, that will be switching next year to a 4-day school week. Oklahoma, the same thing, because Oklahoma is like number 50th in the nation. They're like the cheapest. They put nothing in education. They'd rather lock you up. So they are going down to that. So I think that with the way that our cities and municipalities are so poorly managed fiscally, I think that it could very likely be led by the government entities. I also think that we probably need governmental entities and stuff, if they move first, right? Because our business is tied to the courts. If the courts are open, we have to be available to handle things. So if the government could take a lead in our communities, I think that would really help for it to become a thing for everybody.
Okay. Listen, I'm with it. I think that 4-day work week, I would be okay with it. My thing has always been with my staff, and being that my law partner is the hardest working attorney of our time, probably the hardest working person, it just pushes you. We go to a press conference, Ben is like, we not stopping working until we get justice for Shanquilla. We that.
He really did say y'all weren't sleeping until y'all get justice. He really did say that.
That's what he said at the press conference. So it's okay, cool. So people calling me, how you doing? I'm a little tired, but I'm over here doing getting it popping. We get in the White House. We doing what needs to be done. I'm trying to figure out TikToks and this and whatever we got to do to get the stuff out. Like no sleep. That's what it is. But I don't think that's healthy. We've had firm retreats on that issue. And part of the reason why I do this, which thank you for everybody who is on the stream, everybody who's asking questions, my castmates, the guests. Part of the reason why I'm doing this is honestly as part of my therapy to kind of like de-stress out of that constant work zone and, still, just catch a vibe. Because easily without something like this on a Thursday night, I would literally be right over here, right over here in the same chair till whatever time.
It's gorgeous. Please tell me you're not in your home office, please.
No, I'm at the office.
Okay. Well, you know what? And I actually think that's kind of better because it gives you separation between your home and your office.
I don't have a home office anymore. The home office thing was a disaster because I never, ever stopped working. It was like making dinner, whatever. So I definitely, I think that was 2 years ago. I don't take the laptop home unless I have a specific reason. And I don't have a home office anymore, so I can completely be dialed in with the kids when I'm home. I mean, I do bring my kids to the office a lot. I do give them little jobs and chores. Sometimes
I love it.
Stuff to do, but I definitely try to have that separation. Like, it is work time. I'm going to work at work. I try my best not to even do like work in my room, like in my bedroom. Definitely don't have the laptop in there. I don't have my books. I don't take the cell phone in there, so that gets a little dicey.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Talk about that another time. I get in trouble all the time for not You know what? Let's bring Anthony. Anthony's here. Since me and Anthony have dated, let's bring Anthony in.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at Anthony's home office.
Oh my God, he's a.
I knew he had money. I knew Anthony had money, y'all.
What?
You're on mute, Anthony.
The man, the myth,
Yeah,
another legend.
What's going on, Anthony?
Not much.
Dr. Anthony's building.
Yeah.
What's up, Simone?
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. You writing any good prescriptions today? I got a list.
I got it for you.
No, it's cool. I'm going to Mexico tomorrow to go get me some. Epic.
I'll be in Bahamas tomorrow.
I'm happy that you're here.
I'm sorry, you say what? You're happy I'm here?
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. We can. I think I'm on punishment this week because this week on the show was the men took us on Ready to Love. We had to go meet the friends.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm on punishment. I went on a date with Anthony, Mercedes, and Anthony's friend.
Okay.
That friend was good looking, by the way. Is he single?
It's a lot of stuff that's not shown. However, on the date, I asked his friend, I was like, okay, so, Anthony has not articulated to me that I'm in the top, that I'm one of his people, that we're dating. Okay, we go on dates because you have to go on dates for the show. But I haven't actually heard Anthony say this to me, and I've asked him directly just so I know what's going on. This is me. I'm a very direct person, so I need to know, like, if you're feeling me, if we're feeling each other, we have a vibe. That could be a friend vibe. That could be, I think you're very cool vibe. My first inclination is never you are into me vibe. My first inclination is to find out, like, what is the vibes. So then Anthony, and obviously we're watching the show in real time because even though we were in the kitchen, we don't know what the chefs made. So then afterwards, in real time, Anthony was like, oh, Suanne is holding on. She knows that I like her and all this stuff. I mean, listen, Anthony, did I ask you if you like me prior
You
to the
have.
conversation with your friend?
You have.
And then what did you say? All the ladies here are great, right?
I did say that. So this is my thing. Let me defend myself.
Okay.
You're on the hot seat right now.
For one, I'm an action person. I can tell you anything in the world. That doesn't mean it's actually what it is. My actions between like pursuing you, calling you, texting you, checking up on you, that's me showing you I like you. I'm giving you my time. So that's how I express myself. That's more than me saying verbally, Suan, I like you. Anybody can say anything to you. But a man that shows you actions, is more intentional than a man that only speaks.
Yes.
I am with you. And I think that we had obviously a miscommunication in that regard because let me say this. Were you not calling, texting, and checking on all of the female castmates or other female castmates?
Other ones, yes. Other ones, yes, I was.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
but the ones that I liked, not everyone.
Okay, Anthony. All right.
You rest your case.
I wasn't presenting a case, to be honest. Like, for what I said is absolutely true. Like, I'm a direct person. When I was saying they didn't show me actually when I said the words because they make me look like I'm crazy. So I'm like, I need a man that's, which is a weird thing. But what I was saying was who's direct, so I know like what the vibes are. If I'm confused, I'm not sure, then I don't, and that's it. But Anthony knows. Anthony knows. And we were just talking about how we had a super fun date that wasn't shown. We hope it gets shown. And if it doesn't get shown, we're going to ask them for the footage so we can show it ourselves.
Exactly. Suan got pushed head first down a water slide. So she wants the whole world to see it.
Okay.
That wasn't the one I was referring to, but
no. Okay.
April said the beard is bearding.
Okay.
Anthony, you should share your IG with April. She said your beard is bearding.
We'll put it in the comments.
I mean, you can drop some that. The Harrison is swimming. He's swimming his way out of this is one line.
You know what? It's crazy because Sahara is the only one who thinks I have one liners. I think she like blinks or something and she misses all my scenes and actually, that I say more than one thing. I don't know.
Okay, let's have a real conversation.
Look at the merch.
Oh, I love it.
Timothy said we have to dress for the occasion. Let's dress for the occasion. Let's dress for the occasion. No, oh my God. I feel like me and Anthony had super normal interactions most of the time. This week is going to get a little interesting, which we've already discussed. Again, we were in the kitchen, but we have no idea what the chefs made. Just based on the preview, I was like, oh, okay, that's a lot going on. Anthony's going in on me, and I'm trying to hold it together. But you know what, Anthony?
Facts.
Oh, it's all love, Anthony. It's all love.
Right. Definitely. I mean, me and Suan were in the kitchen the majority of the time. So we had our bonding experiences cooking together.
We did. And everybody was shocked. Everybody was shocked that I was cooking and like trying to make sure everybody was straight. I was like, what y'all think I do it down to the house? Like,
yeah, you got to feed your babies.
Y'all think I'd be lawyering at the house, like trying to no, like I'm normal. I just do normal stuff. I be chilling. I get that we don't get to see everybody like in their home life and stuff. So I totally get why a lot of the male castmates were like, wow, Suan, you're very domesticated.
Domesticated. That's a good word. Domesticated.
They never think lawyers are nurturing. They never think we're going to be nurturing.
I I was like, yo, I had a whole husband. He didn't eat carbs. I had books about how to make everything without carbs.
Where'd you find him at, girl? You found him at the gym?
No. No.
Okay.
Anthony, the women fans love you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
They do.
You seem like you have sense.
Anthony has sense.
Yeah. Some sense. My grandmother raised me right. So
there you go.
That'll do it.
Oh.
That'll do it.
I had to go on another date. I went on a date with Blake and his friend, and what I found out in real time is that after the date, Blake's friend said that her concern was because I was newly divorced, or not newly, because 2 years is a long time. I asked my mom. My mom was like, 2 years is a long time, girl. That's not 5 minutes. It's not like you just got divorced and then ran out on me, whatever.
I feel like it's a long time for women, but not necessarily for men, because we see it coming way before it's there. Like, we have planned, we have packed, we have mentally put his in 10 million boxes, organized, alphabetized, one after another, and before we even put it, outside of wherever it's going to go. Men will be like, well, I think I don't like the way Shirley made those mashed potatoes today. I'm going to go see if I can have a rendezvous with my secretary with no teeth.
What?
That was so specific.
Did you ever watch The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel? That happened. It devastated me. It's a TV show on. He cheated with his secretary. She was so stupid she didn't know how to sharpen a pencil.
Wow.
That always happens.
I think 2 years was a long time for me to. I mean, what I can say is, when I got divorced, it was the beginning of COVID, so we wasn't outside. We were inside. There was no outside to be at. And I'm a very traditional dater, so I don't have like online apps and it's like somebody sets me up on a blind date, or I meet someone in person, or, like normal stuff. So we weren't outside. So I was just chilling, but
when I heard the 2 years, I was more thinking maybe you had checked out prior to the 2 years so that, you had that time served. You know what I mean?
No,
so
I definitely had the time served, because the party started well before that. Like, in terms of the process of being divorced, took a long time, for sure.
Got it.
But when I got my papers, because as a woman, I felt like it was important to actually have my walking papers, like my freedom papers, before I was like, let me go outside. Like, I wasn't going back to that, but I also wasn't like, I have 2 daughters. I wasn't gonna, for men, I feel like it's different. Like, what you can date and say things like, yeah, girl, I'm going through a divorce. And girl will be like, oh, that's cool. Mm-hmm. But for a woman, you can't date a man with intention seriously and say, my paperwork ain't dry yet. Because I feel like in the back of a man's mind, he's always like, you finna go back, huh? I'm not gonna really take you serious, because you might go back. So I was like, I'll wait till my papers is done. It took a while, but when they were done, I was like, okay. And then it was COVID. I was like, damn. Can't even have no divorce party. Can't go outside. Just gotta work. Which, is what I did. I worked and I grilled. So I was,
Wait, did you say grilled? Like,
yes,
barbecue.
I became a barbecue connoisseur.
That's what she said.
I'm so envious. I keep trying to get Rashid to get a grill every time we go to Home Depot, but he rejects all of my. He's like, no, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work.
No, just get a small one. Just get a small basic one at first. Start out with some charcoal. Since you said arson is in your family, like, you'll enjoy that part. And then just start with chicken wings, nothing crazy.
Allegedly, arson runs in her family.
Statute of limitations has passed. Oh, and my little cousin, Rel, he gets out in August. Yes.
Yeah. 2 years is what? How did you feel about
I don't know.
this?
You might get to make my wedding.
Well, listen, Anthony and Blake both bought female friends to meet us. And Anthony and Blake were my top connections. So I mean, I feel like there's a lot of our interactions that you guys don't see. So it wasn't surprising to me that Anthony brought his female friend, or surprised to me that Blake brought a female friend. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, or it was more like, okay, how did I feel about the friend? Do you know how it was a female? I mean, I felt fine. I feel like there's a lot of questions and interaction on the date that you guys don't see. We talked a lot about blending families, like how would it be to blend families? Like, I was asking questions because obviously Blake has 3 kids and 3 mothers of his children. You know, how does that work in terms of, you know, if he's in a serious relationship, how would I fit in? Like, how, you know, what's the relationship like? Like, we had a lot of conversation about that stuff. And on Anthony's date, we had a conversation about, because Anthony wants more kids. We talked a lot about my requirements, I don't want to say requirements, but what it would take for me to be comfortable to have another kid at my big age and like with my crazy ass career. And Anthony, what did you think? You tell them what they were. Since we didn't get to.
I have to get her body back the way I found it, and I have to get her a nanny.
Is that too much? What do you think, Maude?
No.
Are those tall orders?
That's not too much to ask. I mean,
Okay.
you're giving him a gift. So that's not too much to ask.
Right. I'm like, listen, if
I didn't complain at all. I didn't complain at all.
Then, you know, if I have to get a mommy makeover, please pay for it. Don't give me no drama. And I need somebody to live in the house to, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, what about, Simone, what are your requirements?
Okay, my requirements as far as what I want before I'll have a baby by you, right? What the heck is this?
Yeah.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so financially stable. Okay. No child support arrears. I will search it, as we all know.
Mm-hmm.
I dealt with one of those before.
What was the second one? What was the second one?
No child support arrears. You have to be current on your child support, okay? Because if you don't take care of your kids, you're not going to be able to take care of me. We can't be, and I like to go out. I like to do fancy things. We can't be out here bottle popping, and little Tommy has to go without. You know, he's over here on, you know, WIC. That's food stamps. He's on food stamps milk and food stamps cheese, while I'm over here drinking, you know, Ace of Spades. That's cruel. We don't do those things. So I definitely want financial stability.
I agree.
You have to be a great person. If you already have kids, I need you to have a healthy relationship with them. I don't want to hear, she keeps me from my kids. She's this, she's that, she's the third. No, we're going to take some responsibility because, first of all, you picked her. You picked her. You didn't have no protection. You over here playing with this woman. So generally, like, I just need there to be peace in what he already has going so that we can just add to it. Especially because, like, now at my, like you said, big age, now I'm more open to a guy having kids because I would like to have more than one. I know that if I have just one child, she is going to be a hellion. She's going to be like a little heathen and needs a sibling.
You're going to have twins.
I would love that. He would love that. Oh, he definitely tries to do that. We'll see.
Yep. You're going to have twins. She said he definitely tries. Nona D said, after Simone's research, Sushi's statement, Jeffrey's ready to lie really rings true. Let me just say this. This is what I'm going to say about the thing. The elephant in the room, right? What I said and my statement aged appropriately.
That is true. Somebody said, and what kind of dad would you be if you don't pay your child support, baby? Let me tell you, I have seen some excuses. Oh, look, can I just say one more thing on that?
Of course.
I don't know if I'm a terrible person or if I'm like maybe like a good, maybe they cancel each other out. But I did date a guy. I did his research, and I did my background check on him, and I saw that he had child support arrears, and then he got in a car accident, and I helped him with it, baby, you know I called that hotline so quick, and I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, so and so got a little check coming, so make sure little Timmy gets his due. Make sure little Timmy's got what he needs when he gets ready to go off to this schoolhouse. Because little Timmy was going to be going to college sometime. I need him to get paid because that daddy was going to take that money and try and go get him a luxury car. You deserve no luxuries. None of them. You trifling bastard.
Simone brings up a super good point, and I'll ask you and Mod what they think, and of course Anthony. What do you think about doing background searches? I can say this, now, dating and all that stuff. My experience has been, just based on the work that I do, the space that I'm in, the insurance requires background checks. But what I try to do is, I'm not doing background checks just to go like on a coffee date or whatever. It would, if it's serious, if it's getting serious, then it's kind of appropriate, and it's almost getting to a point where, based on all these podcasts and all this crazy stuff I've seen, like guys go on and talk about their dating life and specifics and giving. I feel like I need to have an NDA almost to date.
You do.
An NDA and a background check to just be outside, because it's crazy. And you bring up a good point. Like, you don't know. You just don't know. So it's like, figure it out. But I think, too, there's an element of when you do a background check on somebody that you're dating, where the person might feel like, oh, you don't trust me. What do you think, Timothy? Are you going to have your daughters do background checks?
I haven't thought that far yet. But
I mean, for a while.
I would probably consider doing it myself. But I do think it's important, though, just to have a working knowledge of the types of person that you're involving yourself with. And that's one thing I've talked to my children about, to the extent that we've begun these conversations, just in that who you choose to partner your life with is one of the most important decisions you'll make, if not the most important decision you'll make. And so just knowing those things up front, and just knowing who you're involving yourself with is important. So you might have to do that.
My dad says, trust but verify.
I love that.
He's like, you trust, but you can also verify whatever you trust in. What do you think, Anthony? If you're out here and we're on RTL, let's just use that as an example since we were on it. And I was like, Anthony, I'm gonna do an asset search and a background check.
Absolutely.
Like you're blatantly telling me that you're gonna do that on me?
I mean, what I'm gonna tell you, or actually, me personally, I probably would ask you. I would probably be like, "How do you feel about this?" Because I feel like we're taking it to a more serious level. And listen, they're gonna do it anyway. In terms of, my law part, like they're going to do it. Like as Simone said, just in our field, it's very small. There, we have our. I don't know, like our people that look out for us, that'd be like, oh, so I'd be like, hey, so, we're getting serious. You remember when I said this is the first time I've been over a boy's house on a first date? Like, I wouldn't go to a man's house that I just met and didn't know. Like, I wouldn't do that in real life. Obviously, on the show, was a lot of people there, so it was okay. But how would you feel about that if I was like, I'm gonna run a background check?
To be honest with you, I probably wouldn't mind, to be honest with you. I mean, I do my due diligence. I'll Google, I'll look at social media.
Yeah, I don't mean like a PI, like a high level thing. I just mean like, to have the basics.
I think definitely when you're at a certain place in your life, you need to be careful about who you let in your life. You know what I mean? A lot of people will deceive you. They will lie. They'll keep things from you. They'll lie by omission. So I feel like, in order to protect yourself, you should be able to do that. And the person should respect it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Ma? Do you think background checks? And then what is the right point at which to say, like, is it before sex? Is it after sex? Is it after when you think you like them? Like, when is a good time?
Well, I'm glad. I've been married for like a long, long time, so
Yeah.
we never did those background checks at all. Now I have a daughter. I feel like once she start getting like, even when she just mentions to me about a boyfriend, like in college, because I don't expect her to start dating until she gets to her college. Then I can get serious and start doing, background check. But I don't know. I feel bad for you guys. I really sympathize with you guys. Anybody who's dating around this time, it's a struggle. It's like a job. So prayers for you, because everybody's fake. Everybody is fake. Fake marriages, fake everything, fake all that stuff. So we need a Simone with a background check and everything. Yeah. So let's do that.
I feel like back in the days as a community, dating was, I don't want to say easier, but like you could check in kind of with the person's family in a way. Like you could kind of see like the family, or you could ask about the family, and then you're kind of like, oh, okay, I'm familiar with that family, or I know like whatever. Or, you can kind of, you had to make your assumptions based on the context. I'm big on context.
Right.
You make your assumptions based on the context of the person's life, like, what they're doing, what's their track record for success, like, and what their family life is actually like on a daily basis. Like, are they interacting with their mom? Or do they interact with their dad? If they have kids, do they interact with them? Like that type of stuff is the kind of context, I would traditionally use. But to Maud's point, I feel like it's a new day. It's like people can post anything. So you have to kind of, or put or say, so then you got to trust but verify.
I was going to say.
And then we have men over here.
Oh. No, go ahead, Mom.
Sorry. No, I was going to say, like, and then you have men over here who are so into physical appearance. You know what I'm saying? And then you guys over there in Miami, fake boobs, fake teeth, fake hair, fake boobs, fake ass, like fake everything.
Yeah.
So you don't need to come to Buffalo. We are real over here. You know what I'm saying? So I feel bad. I really feel bad.
Are they? Somebody in the comments said that you also do blood tests and STD checks. When? I guess. Okay, let me ask Anthony. When would you feel comfortable in a dating sequence with a girl being like, okay, let's go do STD tests and let me run your asset search and your background?
I'm comfortable by date 3, to be honest with you.
Date 3?
Because if we make it to date 3, that means we've seen each other throughout maybe a couple weeks or so. So we've already been having that conversation. To me, I feel like if you make it past date 2, that's a good thing. So you know what I'm saying, I want to see you a little bit more. I mean, we're progressing because it's hard to make it past date 2, to be honest with you. So once we get to date 3, we need to be having that conversation.
Date 3?
Day 3. Come on, Anthony. That's a little bit too much. Day 3.
Hold on.
I think he's assuming that he either has hit it or he's about to hit it.
No. I'm not even saying that. You could make me wait 90 days, but by day 3. But you could make me wait 90 days, but by day 3, we need to be having that conversation. You know what I mean? Like, so when we, because at the end of the day,
so this is like the 3rd time I done seen you. What's up?
No, it's like, do you want to be in a situation where y'all going with the flow and it just happens, or do you want to be prepared?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You want to be prepared.
I can tell you about Anthony. Anthony gonna be prepared.
All right.
He's gonna be like lingerie.
Hey, rose petals, candles, music, playlist.
I love it. No, but when I was I like there was a conversation of like, when do you do it, right? And so I have always, for me, the whole background check thing, it was instilled by my mom. When I turned 16, my parents' rule, my parents were married, their rule is, well, it was really my mom's rule because she really governed that stuff, but it was, you're allowed to go on dates, you can have as many boyfriends as you want, as long as you have them one at a time, and that she wanted me to date, healthy. She didn't want me to get one boyfriend and have that one boyfriend all through college. Through high school. But so the rule was that when they came over to take me out, she would look at their driver's license. She would write their driver's license, all the information into this little black book next to the phone, our house phone. We had a house phone, in the living room. And then the next time I was going out with that person, she didn't have to write it down again, but she'd be like, oh, Mom, I'm going out with James Smith, whoever it is. She was like, okay. And each time she'd tell the young man, she was like, oh, sweetie, I just need to take this information down in case that way, if my daughter doesn't come home, I know where to tell the police to start looking for her body. And so they would, and then she'd giggle, bat her little green eyes. And all the guys were pretty much okay, except there was one boy that I was dating who, you know how you go through like a little thug phase? Well, it wasn't a phase, it was just him. It was a little gangbanger. And he was on probation. And he didn't really like that too much. So he didn't want to relinquish his driver's license. So we never went anywhere. He was only allowed to come over to the house and we'd sit in the living room. But fast forward, what I realized too with the dating is, so what I would do with my girlfriends, because in law school I learned how to run the checks and I did it for fun. And I remember the first day I was teaching myself how to use the software, I put my name in first because, you start with yourself. And I look and it says such and such red wine, my granddaddy. And it says he had just posted bail of $2,500. I called my dad. I said, Daddy, did you give granddaddy? You gave granddaddy $2,500? Because it was something that I wanted that was expensive that he said we didn't have no money for. So I'm trying to figure out why you didn't have money for what I needed, but you got money to give this 85-year-old $2,500 to make bail. He's too old for still be doing this foolishness. He was like, no, I didn't give that man no money. I said, well, it says here he is on probation for making terroristic threats. He said, oh, hell, what that nigga do now? And so he said, oh, my sister must have gave him that money. Sure enough, it was my grandfather. He was on probation. He had told the neighbor that he was going to shoot him if he let his dog poop in the yard again. This was right after September 11th. Exactly. So it came from them. But I really think, going back to the dating, what I've done is I asked them first, like, hey, is there anything I need to know about? And give them a chance to be honest. And then I just, as my mom says, keep honest people honest. And I look and confirm. Because I've seen things. My thing is, I can't stand people who lie about stuff that you don't need to lie about. I had a guy who kept lying that he owned the home and that his mom, he was taking care of his mom. No, it's your mother's. It wasn't even his mother's house. It was his brother's house. His brother was in prison. He was a mediocre drug dealer and got caught. And the house was in his brother's name, in his mom's name, but he kept claiming it. You don't need to lie about that, So I think that a safe way to do it, and also if you are a mom, you have a responsibility to your kids to keep them safe, to know what you're getting into, both by doing the criminal check, but also debts, how they pay their debts. It is not fair to your children that you start dating this guy. I dated a guy, I found out he had a foreclosure and an eviction on his record. We couldn't get nothing. We couldn't get anything together.
Kojo, please, because I want to ask the Kojo, the little black book. Oh my God. Because he's outside. As far as I know.
Welcome.
Kojo, the last time I spoke to this, thank you for joining us. It's an honor and a privilege. The last time I spoke to Kojo, he said that he was on a break from outside for Lent in terms of dating. But if he was dating, when do you think it would be appropriate for you to, for the woman to ask you to do, let's say she's going to do a background check, and take STD tests? Anthony said date number 3 because Anthony fast, but that's cool.
Hey, panelists as well. I appreciate it.
I am very
good to see you as well, Sue. And Simone and Anthony and Mod.
Hey.
What's good? In regards to your question, listen, personally, I think I don't necessarily do background checks myself, but if you're a woman in 2023, the moment you meet me and you think you like me, just do the background check.
Okay.
I'm no danger to anybody, but still, right away. Don't waste time. Because you wait until that third date, you don't know how you're going to feel by that third date. You might be feeling a little bit, ooh.
And the background check, to be clear, is an asset search as well as
absolutely
a criminal background.
Debts. Yeah, debts and criminal.
Don't waste your time because you want to get to a point where you're feeling the person, and then now you want to do the background check. At that point, even if the facts are adding up, the feelings are still starting to speak louder. You know what I mean? And you can
Yeah.
find yourself in that tussle.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be in that space. So rather than that, do your background check from early. From the jump. Now the STT check. Hey, listen, that might come a little bit later because that's a little bit more intimate, you know what I mean? And you might not got to that stage of the relationship as of such. But before you get to that place, that conversation needs to be had. I can't say a definite time, but I definitely think background checks should be happening immediately. As soon as you meet someone, if you have the opportunity to do it. Listen, I got nothing to hide.
As soon as you meet,
As soon
hi,
as you
I'm
like,
Kojo.
not listen soon, but
I'm
like as soon
calling
as you
from
like are
home, bro.
establishing,
This is
you know what I
date
mean?
Okay.
As soon as you establish, you know what I mean? As soon as you establish a link that's deeper than we just met, you know what I mean? If you say we're gonna go on a date, I'd say before you go on that date, you might want to do your background check. If you're talking to someone on social media or doing dating apps or whatever, before you decide you're gonna go physically meet somebody, you might want to do that background check. This world is scary. Just saying. And my gender
Also,
kind of mad. Just saying.
I agree with the background check. I'm trying to get the timeline down because I don't want to be accused of jumping the gun. When we give this advice, I want people to be like, okay, Kojo and them at the adult table, they told us right away for the background check and 3 dates for the STD check. Just so you're already prepared. Not saying you having sex after the 3rd date, but you already have the information. So let's say it happens on the 5th date. You're comfortable to go ahead and let it flow because you already have the research done. Right? Okay, I'm gonna ask a random question just to break it up. So how do you guys feel? How do men feel about women asking them their birth time to do their birth sign chart? Do that.
You mean like star sign?
No, but I'm gonna ask you your birth time because I'm gonna look up your actual birth chart and see how it goes with mine.
Oh, like the time you're born. I mean, if you start asking me questions like that, I'm gonna look at you a little bit weird, like birth time. And it's just because no one's really asked anybody that question. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna think you're a little bit quirky. You know what I mean? Listen, that's
quirky.
That's not for everybody, but some people like that.
I am very quirky, for the record.
So
yeah. Oh, my dead cousin told me to quit messing with the guy I was messing with. That I was like multitasking with Sheed and him. She was like, you got to go. She passed. We're Creole, so it's not weird. We're Creole, right? Yeah. She passed away like December, like a month before the reunion aired on Ready to Love, and she was like, sis, I'm up here. Let me tell you, I can see some things you're not. And she was like, leave this other one alone. She was like, I know he has pretty hair, but go over here to Rashid. Like Rashid, he's gonna figure it out. She didn't even say his name. She was like the guy with the fancy cars and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, that's one. And she was right. And sometimes she'll talk to me.
Wow.
And I tried to convince him last week. I was like, hey, I just really like for you to have a conversation with her. Her name is Allison. He was like, but I thought she's dead. I was like, oh, yeah, she is. But Mystic Sister, my psychic, she can do this thing where you guys can have a conversation. He's not with my shits at all.
They Ready says she's an astrologist and she asked for the birth time. See, that's not quirky. I mean, people do it if we're into astrology. And in my experience, if a guy thinks like, if we're like feeling each other or whatever, he's not going to be like, girl, I'm not giving you my birth time. Usually they be like, oh, but you want to do that girl stuff. Okay, go ahead. This is my birth time.
That's so cute.
I mean, I think it's cute. I think it's fun. It's for fun, but definitely do ask for the ID for so many reasons. It's like, okay, let's see what state you actually live in or are from. Let's see that. Let's see your actual birth date.
Mm-hmm.
Your actual name.
Right. Definitely your middle name for sure. Let's see that. And I feel like if somebody's hesitant to let you see their ID, then you could take context from that. If it's like, let me see your ID, and it's like, hold on, why? It's like, okay, we're not serious.
I mean, there's a way to ask that. I don't know if you want to be going straight to someone, let me see your ID. I mean, you got to finesse a little bit.
Well, you don't know.
Women usually ask when you're at the dinner table and they, let me see your ID picture. They take that photographic memory of your ID real quick. That's how you guys finesse it.
You got to be cute with it, man.
I'm way more. I'm a lot more split. I'm slick with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, when you take it out because we going in somewhere, I'm be like, oh, let me see. Photographic memory. Okay, then
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I just tell him, I'm like, hey, I'm addicted to crime shows, and I'm so friendly that my mom just thinks I'm going to be the next victim. So would it be okay if I take a picture of your ID so that, yeah, I take a picture of your ID. I was like, you can cover up your license number or whatever, but I just need your name in case, I come up missing.
Look
That
at
way,
Mod's face.
don't know where to start.
Mod is like, no, ma'am.
I gotta respect you.
I've never received a no, but I also know my target audience, so to speak.
Okay. So don't ask Kojo directly. He wants you to sneak it out his wallet or something like that.
But I also have only done that if I was getting in the car with them. Like if we're just meeting up, that doesn't matter. So only in instances where my safety is in his hands would I do that. And then when you break it down like that, I've never had a guy feel that way, because I said, I'm sure if you have daughters, you'd want her to be as careful.
True. Stay Ready said that in the birth chart, you can see everything like temperament, childhood, personality, career, etc. I just want to say for the record, I have a whole app on my phone. Anthony hates the app.
I was gonna say, but I didn't want to put you on blast. But I was just thinking you have a whole app in your phone.
But literally, the app tells me. I even have my kids in there, and it tells me like how to interact with the person for the day, like based on their star sign or whatever. It's like this person needs you to talk to them more, or this person needs their space today. I mean, I don't go by it religiously or anything like that, but like it's cute every once in a while to kind of scroll through and be like, okay, I need to check on Anthony. All right. Need to check on Flo, make sure everything's going good. Let's see how Kojo's doing. Just make sure your people the star signs and stuff is good. That's all. It's not like, yes, I use CoStar. Stay Ready knows what it is. I wasn't gonna shout them out because they didn't,
I love it.
Hey.
Listen, Kojo, get into it, because when you come back outside, okay, whenever you get off hiatus, trust me, them DMs.
Who you hiding from, Kojo?
Asking about the birth time. CoStar is the app, Sahara. Yes, but you need their actual birth time. Don't let them trick you.
I don't know my birth time, so how would you get it?
It's on your birth certificate. Listen, if a man cannot get his birth certificate from me, we're not dating. You need to be able to ask your mom if you don't have it. I know it's a lot of grown men, and I think it's cute, actually, which may be bad, but I don't know. Who don't have their birth certificate, so they got to usually call their mom and be like, what time was I born? And that, to me, that's a whole cute conversation you could witness. Oh, so cute. Oh, your birth time. I remember that. I feel like
in America, it's actually you have to go with the long form. I had the short one and it didn't have it on there. I asked my mom, I was like, what time? She was like, I don't know. Ask your daddy. I was passed out. And my dad knows nothing, okay? He remembers, he was the parent that, like, if you needed your paper signed for school, your report card signed, he'd be like, ask your mama. But I asked him and I was like, Daddy, what time was I born? Do you know what time I was born? And he was like, hell yeah. You were born January 4th at 4:44 in the morning. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so strange.
Well, listen, Simone, when you have your twins, you don't remember the time. Listen, because they come in your face with all these papers and you got to write down. You won't remember. You'll remember. You be like, it was morning. Here I was trying to go do my jog so I could be pregnant and fit and sexy. And then boom, here you come.
So I am certain I won't remember, but Rashid and Pierce will. Pierce, as my bonus baby, he remembers everything. I forget everything, including when Rashid's out of town, I have to take him to school in the morning. He wakes me up for school. He's like, good morning, Dose. It's time to take me to school. He's 9. And I was like, I done hit the bonus baby jackpot. All right, let's do this thing.
Skylar born.
8:07 p.m.
See? Wow. You men. Y'all are impressive.
Listen, and it's very traumatic for them. Like, I had a rule both times. I was like, no men, unless it's a doctor, past my waist. I just had it in my head, like, I don't want you to see the stuff in that condition. Like, let's keep it up
like
here.
That.
So
in that condition.
Once the baby was out, they take it out and then they put it up here. And then it was like, okay, cool. But when I see the men, I'm like, how can you see? I just, in my mind, because I don't know what it looks like, obviously. I would be weird. I would be like, and then you got that 6-week, 8-week little period. You can't, so, So that's another one of my rule, Anthony. Just so if you want to write it down or whatever. No men passed away during the actual birthing process. Okay, you gonna see me without my wig on, without my makeup, whatever, because we're gonna be in the house chilling at times. But I just feel like I could be, I could be wrong. This could be one of my quirks. But April Gaines said, "What? I'm Sagittarius with my moon." Let's just get into it. I'm just very Sagittarius, like 100%.
Oh, you are? Me too. That's my rising thingy.
Yes, that's why we get along, because Sag get along with other Sag. My rising sign is Libra, of course, because I'm a lawyer. And then my moon is in Taurus.
That means calm or no? What's wrong with that?
Taurus is stubborn. We're helping you, Kojo. This is to help you when you get out on the street, so you know what to talk to these ladies about. Okay.
Why aren't you in the streets right now, Kojo? What are you waiting for? The rapture is coming. It's coming.
Kojo is on break because he is healing, right?
Oh, did some bee break your heart? I have a passport.
No.
I'll come get her.
No, not at all. Just
here's mine.
Take some time out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Take some time out. The game is the game.
Chloe's here.
There's always an arrangement.
The game? What happened to the game? What did he say? The game is what?
The game is the game.
I don't want it to be a game.
You don't want it to be a game? But y'all out here choosing Rising Moon and Lion Sun and
It's for
choosing them based
fun.
on these eschatologies.
Listen, stay ready. Said Taurus moon is exalted. Period. Thank you. It's a very good placement. Thank you.
That's what everybody says about their own.
we need to go. We need to converge. Anthony, did you write the stuff down about the Taurus? What time were you born, Anthony?
It was like what, 5:46 p.m. I believe.
5:46 p.m. Okay.
Afternoon, baby. Okay.
That was
Anthony, we were kind of. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I'm not writing it down. I'm just.
I do have a question for Anthony, and I'm sorry, it's kind of ignorant, but it's on my heart, so I got to get it out. You just seem so like normal and nice. You just seem like the type. I know so many girls that would want to trap a man like you. I don't understand why you only have one child. Like, I feel like you should have like they probably try to get you like 7 times. How did you dodge it? What did you do? Have you ever knowingly could you tell when they were trying to trap you, and then what did you do to dodge it?
So, okay, moment of transparency here. My father actually had a lot of children with a lot of different women. So growing up, I always heard, don't be like your father. So it kind of traumatized me a little bit, where I never wanted kids. I never wanted to start off on that pattern. So definitely, when I had my daughter, like, I didn't even want kids. So when I had my daughter at 34, I was like, wow, everybody was surprised, like, wow, you finally had a kid, you know what I mean? So I think unconsciously, I didn't want to be like my father and follow that path. So I was always careful.
Because I know they tried. You are the type of man that a woman would keep your baby. I know that much. So,
thank you. I appreciate that.
I 100%. Like, even on the show, I kept saying, why are we not seeing the beginning of the season? We were like, how are we not seeing Anthony? Where is Anthony's date and all that? So, but then another question I have for you, Anthony, is you kept saying, my daughter and I. Does your daughter have a relationship with the mom? That's a question that I would want to know.
So, yes, my daughter does have a relationship with her mom. Her mom is actually very active. I take on a majority of responsibility because her mom is in school and working full time, and I'm a little bit more flexible with my schedule. So I have my daughter the majority of the time.
Sorry, you guys. I have like a super hard out for Laura Coates because I'm still pursuing justice for Shanquella Robinson
I
at
love
11 p.m. at night because we don't sleep. But
Aww.
Come on.
I am so excited to have had Maud on, the Queen. I came upon Maud because Anthony told me, he said that we're not allowed to read comments and we're not supposed to read the comments, and the other cast from Miami said do not read comments, don't read comments, whatever. So sometimes I will scroll them. Okay, I won't sit there and get too in depth because for obvious reasons, because people are crazy. But I saw Maud was saying, oh, like, I'm trying to defend you and like whatever. I was like, who is this lady and why is she defending me? And then I was like, okay, cool. Because we were in the kitchen. We don't know what the chefs made in terms of the show. We don't know. We know what we brought to the kitchen, right? So then it's like, you don't know how it's being perceived or what it's being perceived. And that's kind of where everyone comes in. Why the moderators are so important and the bloggers and the super fans and all that stuff. Because you don't know how it's being perceived. That's the whole point. So it was interesting. It's always interesting when I do have time to kind of peruse it. It's very interesting because we were there in real life and we know what happened. What do you think about that, Simone? Like when you were on, did you have an experience where you were like, because I feel like I obviously watched your season, but I don't know. To me, I know how I perceived you. But did you feel like you were being perceived generally by fans how you were putting out, I guess?
No, but in the end, I understood why. It made sense, and I got the why. So, like, I would say the first episode was very much me. Like, my friends who knew me, they saw my first episode, me asking the guys about if they have a passport, me asking a guy who, you know, first country I ever went to was Dominican Republic. I asked him if it was to see prostitutes. Like, that is a very actual type of conversation I would have with a stranger. But some of the subsequent things, no. And for me, that made it not fun, right? Because I was like, well, if I'm going to be on a show like this, it is, you know, for certain reasons to share certain things. But what gave me peace about it is like when people would walk away with a certain impression, I had to just stop and say, that's the character the edited person they saw. It's not me. And I had to say, when they would be like, I didn't really like this, that, or that, I said, you know what? I didn't either. Because the truth of the matter is I would feel the same way they did if I saw my particular behavior outside of context or, you know, without the context that's needed. So I can't be mad at them, and I can't sit around and defend myself or say, well, no, here's what you didn't see, because that's not what this is for. It's entertainment. It's fun. And ultimately what I signed up for, I later realized, didn't know it at the time, was letting them craft a narrative based on the themes that they thought were most important to cover. Mm-hmm.
Well, I super appreciate you guys coming on. I appreciate everybody who came in the chat. Please like, share, subscribe. I am only running off. I would stay here all night because I love all the guests that we had. We had to go because he's a married man and time's a ticking. But I appreciate Kojo so much. I wish we would have more time. But the good news is next week we're going to be back. Same time, same place. I'm only running off, like I said, because I have to jump on with Laura Coates on CNN. So if you guys feel like seeing that, that's what we'll be doing, asking for justice for Shanquella. I appreciate all the fans of the show and people who watch the show who go under like the little news things and are like, isn't that so advertising?
Oh, yes.
Let me tell you, my office is like, what is this? And what did I was like, it was summertime. It was in the summer. It's a long story. Whatever. But everybody has been super supportive in terms of, because like I was saying in the beginning, we are very bogged down with work. It is a nonstop thing. It's 24/7. Like, it's the most important work of our time. So to the extent that I was like, hey, I would like to have fun and do something kind of fun, try something different, they were supportive of me. Did we know that it was going to be all crazy or whatever? I mean, yeah, I represented people on both sides of reality TV, so I get it. So I don't necessarily take any of it personal. But the reason why I made the forum, made the adult table, created this space is so we could interact and so we could talk about cases and work. And like I said, part of my therapy is this, just getting to vibe and kind of talk about different things and, you know, having the space and time. So I appreciate it so much. And I appreciate everyone who's subscribed. I appreciate definitely Maud, okay? Because She streamed from her own platform. She brought her people. I appreciate you so much. Tell people where they can find you. I'm only rushing because normally we have the adult table prayer and then we talk about Black love, but now we got to do it next week because I have to run off. But tell people where they can find you. I know they know already because you're the queen, but still. Uh-oh. Did she freeze? She did. Okay, Simone.
Yeah, you can find me on Ages and Stages each week, as well as Girl. Is that legal? All right, Maud, your turn.
You can find me at Mother from Mama on IG. Am I too loud? Am I still loud? I hope not. No. You can find me on IG as Mother from Mama, on YouTube as Mother from Mama, and catch me tomorrow. Is tomorrow? No, Saturday at Commission Reviews panel, because we shall be dissecting this getaway of love, Ready to Love, because we are ready. Okay, so tune in on Saturday at Commission Reviews panel.
Thank you, Maud. Jojo, I am so upset we didn't get more time, but you are invited back at the adult table anytime. Where can they find you? Because they already know. Basically, you run the space. Let's talk about it. Let's keep it real. Let's give him his flowers. Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Little Black Book 91 Instagram and on YouTube. We will be obviously live on Saturday night as well for Ready to Love super panel, which we host. We'll also have, I think we might have a mini panel before that as well for Put a Ring on It, because I think Put a Ring started as well. So great own shows on there as well. So yeah, catch us on that. And if you like dancing, catch me on TikTok, Black Muscle 91. You know,
all right, we will.
So, right.
Dr. Anthony, paging Dr. Anthony. Thank you, April.
So you can find me at @IM_Anthony Martin NP. From there, you can go to my different websites for businesses or whatever. Also, Ready to Love every Friday night, 8 p.m. See how long I last.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you. See you next week, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the adult table. I appreciate all of you so much. And justice for Shanquilla Robinson.